Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before.
It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear word.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
Coming because they couldn't get in. Once they think they can get in, they're coming, and they are coming at levels that you haven't even seen yet. Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
You will file articles of impeachment. You will file articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
In person, in my office, in Philadelphia.
Oh, seriously, hot sauce. I've been eating a lot of hot sauce, a lot of raw peppers and hot sauce. I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
They had a very bad original concept. It was carried out poorly. And the cover-up was one of the worst in the history of cover-ups. Very simple. Bad deal, should have never been thought of. Somebody really messed up. And they had the worst cover-up ever. And where it should have stopped is at the deal standpoint, when they thought about it. Because whoever thought of that idea, I think is in big trouble. They had a
Who are you worried about? I'll tell you who I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that our workers are seeing a decline in their standard of living. They want to see our industry be rebuilt. That's what they want to see. No more B-2 bombers, no more Star Wars. Let's make the quality products we need. Let's invest in American industry. No, I won't yield.
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was. I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat. 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 I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
You will file articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices.
Battle of righteousness versus Satan. Yes, Satan. Because these leftists are evil.
I would say, I'm not a beta male.
Hail.
Beta.
The world is actually a small piece of the universe, right?
Hello, users, and welcome to another motherfucker of a goddamn. This is Above It, motherfucking all. Alright, folks, so we got a goddamn motherfucking damn. And, hello, Thorman. The Portland white Antifa supremacists who threw rocks and fireworks and pepper spray. I'd love to throw pepper spray. I don't want to use the pepper spray, but I want to throw the pepper spray. That's the idea. That way, you don't want to get in anyone's eyes, you know? Like, you just got to throw the goddamn. Alright, folks. So we got some motherfucking ass, son of a bitch, and goddamn. Got some shit to do? Alright. So let's do the motherfucking recap, folks. Alrighty, so yesterday was day 126? 7? Is it 7 or 6? I don't even know anymore, I'm losing track. Of protests in the city of Elizabeth City over the police assassination of Andrew Brown Jr. on April 21st, 2021. We have been at this for 126 and or 27 days and counting. So yesterday we did a little bit of a short demonstration because we had megaphones and it started pouring down rain, folks. So I want you to check out the weather here. So yeah, it started pouring down rain. Everyone went inside and us included. But we got a solid 10-minute demo in. It was pretty good. And so again, what we do is we march around the federal and county buildings and also screaming in the direction of downtown Elizabeth City over the police shooting of Andrew Brown Jr. It's been 126 and or 7 days. And yet Robert Morgan, Daniel Meads, Aaron Llewellyn, and the others have yet to be arrested. It's seemingly, typically what prevents people who commit homicide from being arrested is the police will typically have to find who they are. That you have to just, look up clues, maybe find their fingerprints, find DNA evidence. The killers, their names are public. The sheriff publicized their names himself. So why is it that we know the identities of Andrew Brown Jr.'s murderers, but they're not in custody? What is going on there? Yet, meanwhile, police are sending people to jail and prison for several years over possession of less than an ounce of marijuana. That's strange. That's bizarre behavior. But this is the world that we live in Elizabeth City, North Carolina. Killers are allowed to be free as long as they wear a very horribly designed tan uniform and have bad haircuts. That makes you able to kill. This is why people become police in America. They love the idea of murdering people. They love the idea of treating the world like Call of Duty. And so they just go to a, little summer camp for 8 months. It's 8 months, folks, it takes to become a police officer in North Carolina. So they go to summer camp and, they do some simulations and then they go into the real world and really kill people and then nothing happens. No one cares and they just try to cover it up. But not in Elizabeth City, folks. We are not going to allow them to cover up what happened on April 21st, 2021. And that's why we have been hosting and holding daily demonstrations ever since then. Because it is extremely important that we make sure that people know that what happened in Elizabeth City is unacceptable and it cannot happen anywhere else. Now, the sad truth and the sad reality of the situation is that it will happen somewhere else. It will probably happen here again at some point. But we have to do our best. We can't just sit around and do nothing. Because if it does happen again, at least we can say we tried our best, right? If it doesn't happen again, at least, at that point, we wouldn't be able to say anything. We're just going to live in fear of when fascism takes over this country. Reminder, folks, 80% of cops voted for Donald Trump, someone who openly said and suggested that people should be killed for protesting, right? There are bills in the North Carolina state legislature signed off by Democrats, including our very own state representative. A black man signed off on a bill that would allow the state to throw felony charges against, quote, rioters. Rioters being defined as any protest with 3 or more people is a riot. And you would get felony charges. And our local Democratic state representative was like, sounds good to me, because they don't give a shit. No one in the state legislature gives a shit. They will pretend to give a shit. But here are the two types of politicians. Those who are actively engaging in evil and those who are useless. And in our situation, the Democrats of North Carolina are actively engaging in evil. And there are some Democrats, not our local legislator, but there are some Democrats that aren't just entirely evil. And they're really trying their best. But again, their best is nothing because they're useless. The state provides seats of power to people and then strips them of all of their abilities to even hold power because that's not in the state's best interest. But either way, we've been out here for 126-something days. And we ain't going nowhere, folks. So that's it. That's the recap. I am familiar with the money thing. It's called civil asset forfeiture. They can just steal whatever they want. They could have stolen the whole car if they wanted to. But I don't know enough info about that to make an actual video about it. But it is, it's some fucked up bullshit. Alrighty. For those of you that didn't see it, I uploaded a classic Doom speedrun this morning. That's right. By popular demand, I decided to appease the folks and the users. All the users are now bearing witness to my skill. Ooh, that seltzer's really getting me. Goddamn. All right. Just scrolling through Google News. Jesus. All right, folks. DC police fatally shoot a man found asleep with a gun in car in Northeast, police say. DC police shot and killed a man who was found asleep in a car with a gun early Wednesday in Northeast Metropolitan Police Department Chief Robert Conti said. The man was reportedly unconscious behind the wheel of a black BMW in the far right lanes of New York Avenue Northeast, near Florida Avenue Northeast. Officers responded around 3 a.m. and saw the man had a gun in his waistband. Conti said police initially said the man held the firearm at some point. Where's the body camera footage? At some point. All right, show me the tape. Show me the photo of the guy having the gun in his hand. I'd love to know. Officers called for backup, grabbed ballistic shields, then tried to wake up the man. The man awoke at some point, then an officer opened fire and struck him. It wasn't immediately clear if the man pulled out a gun or fired it. So let me get this straight. While he's sleeping, he had the gun in his hand at some point. But if he was sleeping and it's in his waistband, was he sleep holding? So like, sleep polishing the weapon? Huh? So let me get this straight. They saw someone sleeping in a car and decided to kill them. They woke him up, and then after waking them up, sorry, bullet to the brain? What the fuck is that garbage? The man was taken to a hospital with life-threatening injuries, then died. The black BMW was seen crashed into a tree with 3 wheels on a sidewalk. After the shooting, 4 or 5 officers responded, but it only appears 1 officer fired. No officers were reported injured. That's a shame. About 20 minutes passed between officers finding the man in the shooting. 20 minutes. What? Conti says the shooting was filmed on body-worn camera, but the video was obscured by the ballistic... Wow, isn't that convenient? Isn't that convenient? Oh, it's been obscured by the shields. I wonder why they grabbed those shields. Probably it wasn't for their own protection. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives of Washington Field Division responded to help the D.C. police with the shooting. What is there to help with? They're already dead. I don't understand what the help is. New York Avenue was closed between 4th Street Northeast and North Capitol as numerous police descended on the scene like cockroaches, which is near the Noma Gallaudet Metro Station. It has reopened, the D.C. police said at around 8:30 a.m. It is the second time in 12 hours that D.C. police reported shooting a man. An NPD officer shot a man who allegedly pulled out a gun at around 6 p.m. on Tuesday in Minnesota Avenue near R Street, Southeast D.C. The man was suspected of using drugs. Oh no! Folks, a man was using drugs. We gotta kill him. We gotta kill him. They were using drugs. What don't you understand? They were using drugs. The man was conscious and breathing after the shooting and is expected to survive. The officer is now on leave. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate we have come to face with armed gunmen in our community. Go fuck yourself, Conti. So again, cops in America are fucking crazy. In 12 hours, they kill someone or try to kill someone for, quote, using drugs, and then they kill someone for sleeping in a car. What? What? Is this a joke? Let's see what the news has to say. What?
It happened early, and we want to get back to that breaking news we've been following for you this morning. A man shot and killed by a D.C. police officer. It happened early this morning in Northeast. Our Justin Finch has the latest now from the scene.
This is your job. Yep, another man shot and killed by the D.C. police. I'm just going to tell this story in a monotone way because this isn't shocking at all. There's nothing horrifying about fascist goons running around our streets killing people for no reason. This is a great thing. Let's keep reporting on it with this monotone way. This is amazing. This is free content for our publishers. I can't wait for this to go live so I can get a bonus in my paycheck.
Justin?
Jumi, within the hour, Police Chief Robert Conti confirming the man who was shot has died. The investigation continuing at this hour just behind us here on New York Avenue. This is where it all ends here. That black BMW crashed into the tree there. The man was inside of that car behind the wheel, police tell us, but this begins some blocks back over at New York Avenue Northeast and Florida Avenue Northeast. That's where police say a 911 call led them to that driver asleep behind the wheel at that scene. Police responding saw that he had a weapon in his waist strap there. They got ballistic shields to go over and confront this man to wake him up. And at some point, a shot, or shots rather, were fired at that man.
Imagine just reporting the police report. No skepticism, yeah. So they were asleep. They were holding their gun while they were asleep. They're holding their gun while it was in their waistband. They were asleep, and then they woke up, and then we killed him.
This scene, he was taken to the hospital where he died a short time later. Chief Conti also saying that the closures in this area will likely continue for hours to come. Take a listen.
This matter is still under investigation. We'll be conducting a daylight canvass. We're asking that residents who use...
And as you can investigate, and as you can see, looking to the right of the scene here, Chief Conti still on the scene here with investigators. Attack the area of New York.
For any skepticism, this is my problem with media. Oh yeah, the police said it. Must be true. He was asleep, holding his gun, with his gun in his waistband. Those all three things happened at the same time. Duh! What the fuck? This shit is just ridiculous. I mean, like, it really is just, it's, what a shitty fucking country. Garbage fucking country. Garbage, garbage, garbage. Anyone who likes America is fucking stupid as far as I'm concerned. Unfucking believable. Alright, back to the Google News. Folks, I just want everyone to, if you're not already vaccinated and you are able to get the vaccine, just please get the fucking vaccine. I assume everyone in my audience is vaccinated by this point. But man, like, I'm very, very, very starting to get, like, extremely worried about this pandemic stuff. So, do literally everything you can, double mask, etc. Do everything you possibly can do. Moderna gang, where we at? Scrolling through. Damn, folks, we might have 2 back-to-back. Folks, I know a way to brighten our day. That's right. Officer down. Reward increased to $100,000 in the killing of NOLA officer gunned down at Houston restaurant. The reward was increased to $100,000 in the fatal shooting of New Orleans det Everett Biscoe. Houston authorities, including Houston blah blah blah, announced the increase on Tuesday. Previously, the reward was $10,000. Businessman Tillman Fertitta announced the increased reward. I'll raise the reward to $100,000 to support the Houston Police Department and all of their efforts to find these criminals and to help solve this crime. I'm going to be honest, I don't really care, but Biscoe was fatally shot Saturday at the Grotto Ristorante in the Galleria area while on a trip with friends from a well-known New Orleans social club. Briscoe is a 13-year law enforcement veteran. Yeesh, imagine the amount of pain and suffering that someone causes in 13 years as a cop. And a New Orleans police detective. He was also a husband and father of 2. That's a shame. All right, folks. Officer down. But wait, there's more! COVID-19. 5 South Florida cops die in a single week. Unbelievable. The novel coronavirus has become the leading killer of police officers across the U.S. And silver lining, folks. Silver lining. This is a problem with police officers, is 80% of cops voted for Donald Trump. 40% of cops are domestic abusers. There are, police departments all across the country that are refusing to become vaccinated, refuse to mandate masks and vaccines. What? 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 Well, this is what happens when the state, the fascist goon and thug squads that enforce the state laws are dumb as fuck. They manage to kill themselves at a rate that is higher than anyone else is killing them. That's right, folks. More cops are dying of an illness than they are being shot in the streets. Isn't that crazy? Florida logged its 3 millionth case of COVID, while Jacksonville is bearing the brunt of the high caseload. Law enforcement officers in South Florida noted that 5 cops had died in a single week. It's incredible, folks. Officers are down all across the country, so evening out a little bit. I'm going to turn my AC on. Let's talk about stupid ass motherfuckers. California police chased a non-existent Antifa bus. Let's read. This is from The Guardian. On June 1st, 2020, a law enforcement official in the small northern California city of Redding sent screenshots of 2 social media posts to her staff asking them to investigate. One was an Instagram story. Be aware! I have heard from a reliable source that Antifa buses with close to 200 people, domestic terrorists, are planned to infiltrate Redding and possibly cause distraction and destruction, it read. The second, a Facebook post, warned that buses of protesters planning to riot had stopped in Klamath Falls in southern Oregon, but there was no rioting or burning as they decided to move on. I love how those are 2 separate categories. Yeah, we did a little rioting, maybe a little bit of burning. And then we went to the next town. We didn't do any rioting, but we did do some burning. And then the next town, we did a lot of rioting, like a bunch of rioting, but we didn't do any burning at all that time. Like, rioting or burning, as they decided to move on. The post included a grainy image of a small van with Black Lives Matter written on the back. Elizabeth Barkley, then chief of the California Highway Patrol, that's right, folks, a state agency, Northern Division, which covers rural parts of the state just south of Oregon, asked her colleagues to look into the claims and notify our allied agencies in town. 90 minutes later, another officer forwarded the message to officers saying, the thought is that these buses are roaming, looking for events to attend and possibly cause problems. They might riot, but they're gonna definitely burn. 15 minutes after that, a CHIP sergeant told a listserv of commands that possible Antifa buses are heading to Reading, adding that the agency's Tactical Alert Center had been notified. Tactical Alert Center? Oh shit. The official said that CHIP aircraft operations were now actively trying to locate a vehicle on the freeway. Bro, they got helicopters, they got fucking drones, they got fucking jet planes roaming across the entire state of California looking for these motherfucking Antifa buses, and they just don't exist. Like, the sheriff of a nearby Humboldt County, William Hansel, shared the information with his entire staff, saying, "Ball, be on the lookout for Antifa buses from Oregon." Antifa buses, folks. The actions of officials in Shasta and Humboldt counties last summer were outlined in internal documents obtained through a public records request by the Property of the People, a not-for-profit transparency group, and shared with The Guardian. They showed how officers in these rural counties known for weed farms and hiking are overwhelmingly white, were shiftily duped by unfounded allegations about Antifa buses, threatening to infiltrate the community as the United States wrestled with the death of George Floyd and the Black Lives Matter demonstrations that sprung up in the aftermath. The records also showed how the agency's response to those unsubstantiated allegations helped spread misinformation rooted in online conspiracy theories. The files were particularly troubling, experts said, because Antifa conspiracy theories had inspired armed right-wing vigilantes to organize in response, sometimes with violent demonstrations. Right-wing posts lead to aircraft fucking surveillance. Bro, what is wrong with these dumb as hell. Unverified warnings about Antifa threats and buses of left-wing activists making their ways to various protest sites were all over the internet on the 1st of June, amplified by right-wing accounts, including Donald Trump Jr.'s Instagram account. Already that day, NBC had reported that at least some of the rumors were started by a white nationalist group posing on Twitter as Antifa and threatening to move into residential areas of white hoods and take what's ours. On the morning of the 2nd of June, however, Hansel, the Humboldt County Sheriff, emailed staff to say he had confirmed with CHIP that the bus is currently in Reading. So they found the bus, folks. They found the fucking bus. All right, let's go. They got the bus. Let's continue. At the same time, journalists, disinformation experts, and some law enforcement officials were debunking the Antifa bus rumors across the United States. Still, at a press conference on the 4th of June, Hansel publicly raised concerns about Antifa threats, saying his agency had substantiated law enforcement reports that Antifa did have people in buses. Folks, Antifa does not exist in the way that they're talking about. Anti-fascism is a literal political ideology. You cannot have a political ideology put people in buses. It's a way of thinking. That's like saying, like, fucking, I don't know, vegetarianism put people in buses. Maybe a group of people that are vegetarians maybe bought a bus and have a bunch of friends and they're going across the country, but that doesn't mean vegetarianism put people in buses and is bringing, like, again, I need y'all to understand this shit, okay? So Antifa did have people in buses, and suggesting the groups wanted to disrupt things and cause violence. The sheriff record shows soon received emails from a resident asking why he was continuing to make such claims without a shred of evidence, along with questions from a county supervisor about his comments. A week later, however, Hansel released a new statement to the local media, once again repeating his warnings. CHIP confirmed the reports of an Antifa bus or buses. Are they bus? If they're confirmed, right? If they're confirmed, is it a bus singular or buses plural? They're confirmed. You've got your eyes on the bus. You can see the bus or buses. How is it confirmed bus or buses? That doesn't make any sense. He asserted, adding that he would continue to share information on radical groups, right or left, that promote violence. A spokesperson for Hansel told The Guardian that the sheriff had made those statements based upon information provided to us by the California Highway Patrol. The sheriff's office, she said, was not involved in the Antifa bus investigations, and no bus was located in Humboldt County. Police lacked basic social media literacy. A CHIP spokeswoman told The Guardian that the agency had received no evidence about possible buses beyond the 2 screenshots and said its investigative unit reviewed the social media post to evaluate potential public safety issues. She noted that Oregon police had raised similar concerns. A CHIP air unit conducted a short search for the buses. However, they were unable to locate them. I thought they were confirmed. How is it possible that you can confirm something but you also can't find it? Doesn't the word confirmed imply that you've got your eyes on it? You got someone following this bus around? What the fuck? The CHIP air unit conducted a short search for the buses. However, they were unable to locate them, the spokeswoman said in an email, adding that no specific individuals were surveilled, contacted, or apprehended, and that no threat was identified. The full extent of the operation is unclear, though the spokesperson said the actual aerial search was brief. The Antifa bus mission was a 12-minute event. It is also unclear why Hansel said that there was a confirmed bus in Reading. A 2nd of June report from the CHIP Northern Division of George Floyd protests said no arrests were made and noted that all related protests in the region were expected to be peaceful. What is clear to experts, however, is that the correspondence between the agencies suggests that they lacked basic news and social media information literacy, said Ryan Shapiro, the executive director of Property for People, who has investigated how police monitor anti-fascist activists. CHIP had relied on obviously baseless right-wing social media posts to launch military-style aerial surveillance missions for non-existent Antifa convoys, he added. The photo of a specific van with the "be on the lookout" warning could have resulted in serious harm of people who are driving that kind of bus when there's no evidence of anything or anybody has done anything wrong, said Michael Gurman, fellow with the Brennan Center and former FBI agent. Based on the vagueness of the rumor, it is hard to imagine why they would have deployed those tactical resources, he added. The documents also appeared to fit a pattern of police aggressively responding to mild progressive dissent. Other records in the data set point in a similar direction. On the 1st of September last year, the Humboldt Undersheriff, Justin Broad, sent an email to staff saying, "We are in trying times for sure, and we must prepare accordingly." He encouraged officers to read an attached document, which he said contained a good material on preparedness for the unknown mentally and physically. The document was a police newsletter called NorCal Sheepdog about off-duty safety in the era of anonymous Antifa and BLM. I mean, again, this shit is ridiculous. Written by law enforcement consultants, the authors said these groups should not be underestimated and that their tactics include attacks on officers. The letter advised officers to maintain vigilant watch for threats while off-duty. Always be armed and ready. Train with your off-duty weapon. Prepare for the consequence of Antifa hoaxes. The rumors about Antifa threats last year were not without consequences. They prompted some right-wing militias and conservatives to patrol their neighborhoods while heavily armed. In Washington, armed residents harassed a multiracial family that was passing through on a camping trip, falsely accusing them of being Antifa protesters. Repeated false claims about Antifa arsonists starting wildfires led armed civilians in Oregon to set up roadblocks. In some cases, police have expressed tacit support for such responses. In one of the CHIP emails from June, a captain spoke positively about the militias that responded to an Antifa bus threat in Oregon, saying that locals armed with long rifles, shotguns, and pistols wearing blue armbands to be recognized by police as friendly showed up to deter violence by their city. Do I need to read any more of this? Folks, what the hell is going on? I'm going to be honest here. I want to start advocating for more policy changes in my show. I don't know what's going on with the strand of hair here. Go this way. We need a complete and total shutdown on law enforcement agencies until we figure out what the hell is going on. Because this, my friends, is some stupid ass bullshit. Lord have mercy. Lord, folks. How's everyone doing today? We got Smia, we got Cecilia, we got Non-Applicable, we got Sal, we got Mr. Freaklicher, we got Bongo Dave, we got Abner, we got Green Progress, we got some other people. We've got, scrolling up, we got Matt, we got someone else. I mean, is the chat just 5 people posting over and over? We got Mixed Media. We got New World Global Community Paladin. We got Mila. Hello, folks. Gonzo, welcome. We got Bob in the goddamn. We got Catherine in the goddamn motherfuck. How's everyone doing, folks? We got Ian, also known as Ian. I'm just looking through Google News for some shit to talk about. But hopefully everyone's having a good day. I'm pretty hungry, so that's kind of where my day is going. Max the dog is barking downstairs. Who knows what the hell's going on? Maxie! Max! Max! Mixed Media, I'm from Oregon. My neighbors thought Antifa started the fires. I had to set them straight. That's crazy. People in my family also thought that. Like, yeah, I'm in North Carolina, but still. Hey, Warren. I'm good. I'm just hungry. Kamala praising McCain. Jesus. Maxie! Max! There he is, folks. The dog. Hi. Did the mail show up, Max? Do we get packages? Look at that dog. Holy shit. Is Max an anarchist? Absolutely. Alright. Look at that dog. There's a dog. I don't know if I have any other news to talk about today. I just want to reiterate that I I'm getting extremely pissed off at what I am seeing from anti-vaxxers. I covered yesterday the Jimmy Dore, like, horse thing. And, I mean, I kind of spent a lot of the day just reading into that a little, and it really is just bizarre. I really have to say, I hope to God that everyone in my viewer base is either vaccinated or is, you know, immunocompromised and cannot be vaccinated for whatever reason, which is totally valid. But, like, this shit is really pissing me the fuck off. Like, I am genuinely just... My tolerance for this shit is negative. It's negative 53 right now. It's just, I'm so fucking mad. Jesus Christ. These people are why we can't mingle and hump. That's what I'm fucking saying. Yeah, Sal, don't worry. We'll get it. I'll get in one of those at some point. It'll happen. I might start asking them, the police, if they're vaccinated here. Like, every time I see them on the street, I might do that. See, I would never have bought, like, plane tickets. That's a little bit too much in the non-refundable region. Like, I'm just, like, everything is... I am so fucking pissed off. Like, my thing is, what we should do is divide the country, and if you don't want to listen, if you don't want to wash your hands, if you go live somewhere else. Go in that little quarantine zone. Like, I'm just... Anyway, folks, that's basically my show for today, so thank you for watching. I did, like, a little bit of a cop show. Yesterday I was doing, like, you know, mocking people show. Today's the show where I just make fun of, like, or today was the show where, I talk about cops, you know, I do all these kinds of shows. So. But, tomorrow is Thursday. Call management, alright. Psych! No phone bit for you, Matt. Y'all have a good one. I'll see you again very, very soon.
And by
You used the word smart. So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
I've got to go. Let me respond. There's a lot to respond to here. Let's get something straight. You shouldn't be disappointed. What I've done so far is more than anybody else has done this far. Okay? Number one. Number two, I mean what I say when I say it. I mean what I say when I say it. I'm the only person.
All of a sudden, we can't talk about Neanderthal DNA anymore.
That was an opinion of somebody.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
I liked beer. I still like beer. But I did not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
I eat extra sharp. That's what I eat.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
8 months after his alleged meeting with the Burmese executives, so this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese, a real beautiful company.